Mr. Milton has taken out some time to speak to us about how things are progressing and what he thinks will be one of the most significant outcomes of this event, which is currently underway, being hosted by India. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for taking out time speaking to Sansad TV. Let's first reflect on your thoughts on how your overall experience has been. The 28th edition of the CSPOC now nears completion. Talk to us about how the journey has been so far.
Well, it's been a terrific conference, and this has been a wonderful chance for me to reflect and catch up with colleagues hosted in the country that is known for the biggest democracy in the world. So talking about democracy here in a country like India is always special. We know that there are challenges for democracy across the world, and so far the conversations have focused on those challenges and delivering real practical outcomes of how we can work together collectively as a group within the Commonwealth to support, enhance and protect democracy.
India and Australia have been great friends. In fact, we have a deepening comprehensive strategic partnership. We have a relationship across diverse sectors. How does parliamentary cooperation add value and strength to that deepening partnership?
Well, you're correct. The foundations are deep and strong. Our parliaments are one element of that. And our governments, particularly our prime ministers who work so closely together, and our ministers that have had a strong tempo between both India and Australia, engage at the government level. And I know the work here of our High Commissioner, His Excellency Philip Green, have added to that rich tapestry of building the networks between Australia and India. But the parliamentary links are also just as important. And I know our friendship group within the Australian Parliament, the Australia-India group, is the largest one. And that says something about the commitment for our members of Parliament from our upper house and lower house about just how important parliamentary diplomacy is. My credit and acknowledgement goes to my deep friend, the Speaker of the Lok Sabha, Shri Om Birla, who is well known for his commitment to democracy and also engagement. And we know that the speaker to speaker's relationship is important because it adds to the deepening relationship between two countries.
Coming now to the central theme of the 28th CSPOC, use of social media, the impact of artificial intelligence has been spoken about. There have been deliberations. In some time, the report of these deliberations will also be submitted. How timely and relevant are these themes based on the rampant use of technological tools, but also some of the major potential dangers that these tools pose for people, for parliamentarians at large?
Well, talking about the safeguards and ensuring that we use this technology for the benefit of our citizens has been a key feature of this important conference. Ensuring that we protect democracy, but using the tools at our disposal is really, really important, but using them wisely and effectively. So the outcomes and the learnings from this conference will go a long way to looking at how we can have deep engagement with citizens. I had the privilege of chairing a workshop today talking about this issue and about how we can deepen engagement with the citizens we represent. We heard from best practice in countries like Nigeria, Cameroon, understanding what the challenges are, but also the practical tools that we can have engagement with our citizens, because at the end of the day, democracy relies on a deep engagement with the citizens that we represent.
Absolutely. That's been another thrust area. The Parliament of India has taken multiple initiatives to bring Parliament closer to the people of the country. As Speaker of the House of Representatives, we would love to hear some of the initiatives that you have undertaken to make parliaments and bring parliamentarians closer to the people.
Well, one of the things I've been committed to is to revolutionise and improve civics education in Australia. The more we can empower the next generation of leaders, the stronger our democracy will be. So for the first time in our country's history, we are following the lead of other nations of having a national youth parliament for the first time this year. I've also taken the initiative of re-engagement with schools across Australia. And personally, I've visited over 183 schools since I've become the Speaker, teaching young people about our democracy, teaching about our institutions, empowering them about the civics education that they need to make sure when they become the future leaders, they are the best engaged citizens of the world. We are so lucky in Australia. We are only the 10th oldest democracy in the world. We have a wonderful electoral commission, but also a group of Australians that are deeply committed to protecting and enhancing democracy.
So, Mr. Speaker, as parliaments and functioning of parliaments evolve, how are you also working towards modernizing these democratic institutions?
Well, online opportunities gives us a great opportunity, and as we mentioned before about artificial intelligence, to have engagement. We need to make sure that as technology changes, we as parliamentarians and as leaders of the parliaments continue to use those technologies in the best interest for our citizens. It means that we can be closer to the people that we represent. Once upon a time, perhaps people could listen to the radio or even read a newspaper. Now we can give them daily, if not hourly, updates about the decisions, about the impact, but also vice versa, citizens giving us the information via social media and an online presence so that we can be informed about what the citizens want from their country, from their governments, but more importantly from their parliaments as well.
So these were about steps about how we are strengthening parliaments and its functioning. One shared challenge, I think, before democracy is, and this is something that the IPO chairperson also referred to in her inaugural speech, the growing mistrust of people in the democratic institutions. As a speaker, how do you think the responsibility of presiding officers is becoming more and more challenging to uphold democratic values and to ensure that these democratic institutions maintain their credibility and they enjoy the trust of the people?
Well, I only look to India, who knows best more than anyone, with 1.4 billion people living here. And we heard the statistics from your Prime Minister, who elegantly outlined the most successful modern election in the world's history. So there's a lot we can learn from India in terms of your dedication to democracy, but also understanding with the changing world environment does come those challenges, ensuring that there is adequate and informed information for citizens, making sure young people are getting the right advice. One of the things we're very proud about Australia is that we have initiated a world-leading framework to ban social media for under 16-year-olds. That began on the 10th of December. That's done for a couple of reasons: to protect children and to make sure they are getting the information and knowledge and information that they should be receiving at that age, but also to ensure that they are getting factual and right information.
That's right.
Because the internet is a very powerful tool, but as people who are committed to democracy, we want to make sure our citizens are getting the informed but also accurate information at the same time.
Speaker, as we wrap up the conversation, one last question, because you mentioned our Prime Minister. How do you reflect on Prime Minister Modi's leadership, and especially with the thought that India believes the world is one family? We believe in percolating the benefits of development across countries, across peoples who've been underrepresented for so many decades.
Well, the address by the Prime Minister was powerful yesterday, hearing the amazing economic but also social success that is occurring in India. And I know from seeing from afar, I had the privilege of greeting the Prime Minister and giving the best wishes of our Parliament to the Prime Minister, through him to the people of India and also the Speaker, that his vision is one of working collaboratively and together. And that's exactly what I know when I see the Prime Minister visit Australia, and what I would say the rock star reception that he received in ensuring that the voice of India is heard across the globe. 1 million Australians call India home. We are the most multicultural nation, or one of the most multicultural nations on earth. And over 1 million Australians that are here value the two-way trade in particular, as always all Australians do. Over $50 billion between our two countries, which is a very important part of the relationship, ensuring we have warm and strong relations, but also strong economic ties as well. So there's much to look forward to. This is my 4th visit to India as a Member of Parliament, but I can assure and promise your readers it won't be my last.
Definitely, we welcome you again and again. Sansad TV has a lot of viewers who are young. As you wrap up the conversation, leave out a message for the youngsters, the young viewers who are watching our conversation.
Keep involved, keep engaged, and make sure you're keeping the politicians on their toes.
Of course. Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Speaker,
you.
for your valuable time. We understand you have a busy schedule, but you took out time, spoke to us comprehensively about how this event has been and about the significant outcomes that you expect to come out of it. Thank you once again for joining us on the program. That's it from us in this conversation, viewers. Thank you very much for your time.